Hey everybody, it's Jimmy Grappone here with JPAR Carolina Living, and I'm here today talking to my broker-in-charge, Parker Zdeb, and we're going to talk a little bit about the real estate market. So we had a sales call earlier today, and we were talking about how it's not a crazy market right now; it's a high demand market. So
right.
Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Absolutely. So a lot of people out there are going, "Oh, we've got low inventory." And that's not actually necessarily true. What we have is a high demand market. We had record numbers of sales in 2021, and you can't have a record number of sales and still continue to have low inventory. And that record number is from 2006. It's the highest number of sales we've seen since 2006. So I want you to let that soak in for just a second. And we can't have low inventory. What we have is high demand. We have more buyers than normal. We have more cash buyers than normal. And I really think people need to really wrap their heads around working with the right people who will network and get them these homes even sometimes before they go on the market.
Well, yeah, so I think a lot of what we're seeing, we're maybe not seeing as many houses come up on MLS and coming soon and things like that, but when we have a network like we have at JPAR, we have access to listings lots of times before they even come on the market.
Yeah, and that's really important. You've got to be working with the right agent who has the right network, the right group, right? And you've got to be working with an agent who has tools and resources. One of the things that we love here at JPAR is the partnerships that we have to help people get into these homes, even for some people who might need to continue to rent those homes, but they're still getting to pick the one that they're going to eventually buy. Yeah,
I love that ability for someone who maybe isn't quite ready to buy yet, maybe even still want to feel out a certain area and figure out exactly where they want to live. But we have partnerships with businesses that allow us to do that too, where they can essentially rent the home back pick the home that's for sale and rent that one with the option to purchase it.
Yeah, and then we also have partnerships to turn our finance buyers into cash offers at first, or at least non-contingent offers. We also have partnerships where they can buy their home before they sell their home.
Right.
So working with the right people really does matter in a market like this.
Yeah, and having JPAR Sure Sale definitely helps too. So
yeah.
So one thing obviously that we're seeing right now too is interest rates are going up quite a lot. So if someone's a buyer and they're a month and a half ago they were looking at a 3.5% rate, now it's like over 4.5%. What are you telling them? What are you coaching buyers to do in that scenario?
So I'll tell you, we don't have any of the normal key performance indicators or KPIs that we had that were before 2008, 2009, 2010. We still have high unemployment rate. I'm sorry.
Back then we did.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yes. We still have a low unemployment rate here.
Rate, yeah.
And they had a high unemployment rate, right? So there's a difference there.
Right.
We also had people who didn't have funds and they were funding 100 to 125% of their loans. Whereas today we know that the lenders have gotten smarter and they are putting more money down, which is making a difference.
Yeah, people who are pre-qualified now or pre-approved for a loan now, we know that they're actually qualified to buy the house.
Exactly.
Whereas back then,
you could just breathe and
Then they go, was it a ninja loan? I think it was called. No income, no assets. You just had to say you had a job, and
that's right.
And you could buy a house.
Yeah, and so lending has gotten smarter, and that's made a huge impact on our market, right? And we also know that the big banks don't want to go through that again.
Right.
So they're going to work on keeping processes in place and helping people stay in their homes or modify their loans or get their homes sold, instead of allowing them to go into foreclosure. We know banks are wanting to work with people, so that's making a huge impact. So we are not expecting another 2008, 9, or 10. It's not going to happen, not here in Charlotte.
Right.
We know that with interest rates on the rise, they're losing some of their buying power. We usually say that 1% equals 10%, which means for every 1% your interest rate goes up, you're losing 10% in your purchase price. So if you could afford $500,000, you're now looking at $450,000. Right. And so what we're telling people is it's okay. We know that it's high demand. Working with the right person helps. We have partnerships and programs to get them into the homes. So allow us to utilize the tools and the resources we have. That's what you hire us for, to be able to get you into these homes so you can continue to take advantage of what the market is doing.
Yeah. Well, that was going to be my other question too with buyers. Do you see people that are maybe that were previously approved and looking at homes in the 5s and the 6s, maybe they're shifting what they're looking for, you know, into a little bit lower price point. And then my follow-up to that is in 2021 we saw home values increase at around 20% almost, whereas in the past it was anywhere from about 6 to 8% year over year. Do you, with the interest rates starting to go up, do you see that that curve starting to level out a little bit?
No, and a lot of it has to do with the amount of cash buyers that we have on the market. We have a lot of larger investment groups, or hedge fund groups, as a lot of people know them as, and they're still coming in and buying homes in cash. So the interest rate is really truly only affecting certain people at certain levels. The rest of them are finding the funds to make up the difference, whether it's a 401k, whether it's family members. We are seeing an increase in people who are getting gift funds from multiple family members, sometimes 2 and 3 family members. So they're actually making up the difference. And
there's a little bit more creative financing right now too.
Yeah.
I've even seen, and I haven't had this experience directly, but I've seen and read some things about people even looking at things like getting adjustable rate mortgages, which was a big thing 10, 12, 15 years ago that we haven't really seen as much in a while. But people are looking to those options as well because they can get a lower interest rate. I think there's more protections built in now as well, as far as once that arm runs out, the rate can only increase by a certain amount.
Right. Yeah, and so people are taking, our clients, our buyers, our sellers are more educated today than they ever were. So it's up to us to be able to come in with the resources, the tools to kind of create that vision and be creative ourselves, and be creative with our lenders and creative with our partnerships that we have to get them into the homes. That's part of the reason why we love at JPAR Carolina Living, that our agents have these tools and resources so that someone like you can actually come in and truly help someone into home ownership. So we love the fact that, you know, we're not stopping. We know that this is kind of like the Rocky Balboa. We're getting to the top of the stairs. Everybody's starting to get tired, right? But we know at the end that we're all waving our fists and, you know, just so proud of what we've done and how far we've come. And I know that we're going to continue this for the next probably couple of years.
Yeah. Well, Sarah, thanks so much for spending a few times with me and with our audience and helping explain a little bit about what's going on in the real estate market right now. So, and thanks for taking a few minutes to watch this video, and stay tuned for more in the future. We'll see you next time.
Thanks.
Cool. There we go. Easy as that. One take.
Come on.